What's going on?
Goals. Heavy.
No!
Heavy.
Why?
Heavy. No.
Oh, I can't, mate. I need to wet myself.
That's all
Holy moly!
Just there, the net.
Oh my God!
Okay, right.
I love Garrett machines. I've always had Garrett machines. I mean, it's an easy way. You've got a copy. You also have these listed. Kaylee, I'm sure you know about the sale on it. Is the 18 Pro. That's good. That's really good. Yeah, and I think Nathan and Luke done very well on that.
Yeah, you can see we just come up on his man.
That's a budget. Oh, it's a budget. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday. It's 8 o'clock, and we are back. Season 2 of the Big Detecting Show, which was all going to be a little bit more banners and fanfares, but sadly, our good friend and confidant, Mr. Higgins, is having a house renovation, and they've cut his electric supply. So, sadly, I've got to produce tonight, and we know how badly that can go. But here we are anyway. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, David. How are you?
I'm absolutely knackered. How are you?
I'm all right. Not as bad as you last week, spending a year's worth of raving and drinking in one night. But you.
Me?
I haven't got changed. I went straight to work.
Yes, we were a little bit inebriated, maybe.
Yeah, there might be some videos later.
Maybe cider was involved. Maybe mead was involved. Maybe Ouzo was involved. Maybe even moonshine was involved.
You numpty. But yeah.
Well, just because you decided to go back to the hotel and lie in bed drinking wine naked.
That was Friday night, not Saturday night.
Oh, and also, Carrie's just reminded me, pineapple rum.
Yes, you drank that as well. I wonder why you were a bit tired in the morning when I got there at 7. So but yeah, it was a good weekend.
Do you want me to throw that small video on? That very, very, very small one that we maybe took. The one that you maybe took in the walk.
I'll let people know. You woke up at 5 in the morning, had a slight stomach problem. Then
No. I was still texting people at 1:30 to tell them I had the hole in my sock.
Well, you phoned me at 1 in the morning to tell me how to make marrow wine, which was very nice. But
did I?
Yeah, so I thought
No, it's marrow mead.
Sorry, marrow mead. I thought I'd visit your tent at, about 7 o'clock in the morning. And I was pretending to be your neighbour or mother or daughter or sister.
Let's just have a look and check the eyes.
David, can you help me with this, please, love? Oh, you all right? All right, cupcake.
I think you actually ended that a little bit too spoon because there may or may not have been a swear word involved.
Yeah,
at that point.
There might have been. But yeah, your eyes were bloodshot. But it was a lovely weather, really nice sunny weekend.
It was.
Lots of drink, lots of...
Well, to be fair, Adrian, if we go back just a little bit, obviously we've not been on for 2 weeks now. Firstly, we went to the Rodney Cook Memorial the week before. And again, the weather was fantastic and inebriation with you this time. I rather than I.
Yeah.
Sadly, no video footage of that, sadly.
Thank God.
But there you go. So, yes, Rodney Cook, fantastic play, undetectable. Kudos to Gary Cook and the team and to Mark and Karen and the team for 2 absolutely fantastic events. Couldn't have had as much more fun. And obviously, we also, you should be very proud of this, Mr. Gaylor. We had issue 7 for the Rodney Cook. Oh, and look at that, issue 8 for Detectable. So we've had 2 great weekends. We've got, if I can share the screen, and we'll get to our guest tonight, Mark. I know you're listening backstage. We'll get to you momentarily. Bear with me, as I say, because what am I doing here now? Oh, I know.
Dave, just quickly, these are going to be available online soon, aren't they?
Yes, they will be online soon. Right, I've sussed how to do it. Right, hold on, bear with me. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Right, can you see that, Adrian?
Yes.
So, this was a live finds wall from Detectable. So, as you can see, some of the items that were actually discovered at Detectable. And the people who most uploaded their finds were Dan H. with 10, Andy 60, Jamie Williams, Joseph Cotfigs, Kevin Black. This is on the Just Detect app, sorry. And the top brands recorded were MindLab 35, XP 16, Garrett 12, and Nocta Macro Do. Top detectives with the Equinox, the XP, the Garrett A250, and the MindLab CTX 3030. Now, this worked brilliantly, the Just Detect app over the weekend, didn't it?
Yeah. I think no bugs or glitches. We showed it on stage live, but I can't remember what was on it. But
there were actually a few glitches, and if anybody is, and I'm gonna go over to issue 8 of the magazine in a moment, just to release some information to you for those who didn't go to Detectable and those of you who do use the Just Detect app. And if there are any issues, if you just contact help@just-detect.com and they'll assist you with any things. Anyway, so the big news from Detectable for Just Detect, they released a pro membership package. So what's included in the pro membership package? Now, obviously, if you download the app and you'll be able on there to upgrade to this pro Detect membership. Pro membership, sorry. Now it's £10. I'll start at the beginning. So, what's included with the pro membership package? You will be multiple prize draws, not dissimilar to the one we'll do tonight, but obviously bigger prizes for pro members, for machines, accessories, free dig tickets, etc. You will get 4 exclusive editions of our own the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine, which will have exclusive metal detecting statistics from Just Detect. And, Adrian, free 10 million civil liability insurance for metal detecting on both Just Detect land and personal permissions. So, another option for you to look at having insurance from another source if you're not happy with your current source. As I say, as well as that, you're getting multiple pro membership things as well. There is something else that's going to be coming, a watered down version, which will mainly be the insurance and not have access to the prize draws. But this is £10 an annum and then $2.99 a month thereafter. And guess what, Adrian?
What?
I was number 1 because I got a tip off.
Yeah, I got to number 4. I wanted to be 007, but
hold on a minute. No, Philip Wills, the insurance is not for Just Detect land. It is entire insurance for exactly everything that a metal detectorist needs. For myself to go on my land, for Adrian's to go on his land, and even when you go on any organised digs also, I think I'm right in saying.
Yeah, I think it's like for like from the other option.
It is. It's just give you an option, and we've obviously got a little bit more as well involved. But it's going to be a hard launch in the next couple of weeks. And there you go, because there's nuclear fallout in other areas at the moment, and people might not want to go with that in the future. So it's another option. Also, obviously, I've got to give kudos to Rodney Cook Memorial Rally. We're going to find out the exact figure off Gary Cook in a couple of weeks of the exact amount found. I don't think we should let Gary do that, Adrian.
He's got a one-day dig this weekend, which he's made a load. Not he's made a load of money. The charity's made a load of money, and I think it could be quite amazing how much he's going to have made in 3 days. It's quite a lot, hell of a lot.
Absolutely. So that'll be added to the total amount. And as well as that, Detectable made another fantastic amount for their chosen charity as well. Again,
Yeah.
we're going to bring them on in a couple of weeks and be able to talk about that as well. So some fantastic. But flip side of the coin, for those of you who were going to another event and it got cancelled and you got made to pay, there's some revelations that have came out today. We're not going to go all political. You can do that in a chat room if you want. But with all due respect, some quite shitty things have gone on. And as a metal detectorist, I wouldn't be very proud of that. But hey, there you go. So flip side of the coin, unfortunately, we always have to take the good with the bad. So if you're in the chat room and asking questions, Scott's in the chat room to talk about any of the issues, any of the things you want to know regarding insurance. Down in the ground, as far as I'm concerned, yes, organised dig will recognise it, because at the end of the day, it is like for like insurance, more or less. Is it not, Adrian? Or is it not, Scott? I'll let you answer that. Is it not, Scott? Is it not, Scott?
It's like spirits talk, waiting for a seance.
It's like people waiting for reaction from me on Sunday.
Yeah.
Hey, we did have, me and Adrian, we did have 2 fantastic days. We were asked to do a live show, question and answer show with people, audience members and other participants of Detectable on the Mind Lab stage on Saturday. And I think it went down such an extent that they asked us back on Sunday. And I fell asleep on stage for a
we were struggling, Dave, weren't we? On stage, sort of like, I think Scott Holden's put some pictures up.
Yes, and also Scott says correct. It will be recognised as it is like for like, more or less. What was I going to say then? I was going to say. So
I will just. Sorry, go on.
No, I've said lots of things. You say things.
I've forgotten what I was going to. No, I would just say the Just Detect. Is it monthly competitions?
The Just Detect monthly competitions, he's just said the first Just Detect Pro draw is now live in the app for pro members, with the first prize being a Mind Lab Equinox 800. And
I know it's early and loads of people haven't signed up. So for the sake of, a couple of raffle tickets, you could win a Nox 800. And I think that's going to be, fingers crossed. But yeah, it's going to be some good prizes.
The prizes, he said, will be at least once a month for pro members, but we'll get much, much more on that in the coming weeks. And Mind Lab free beer was a fantastic idea. One more thing before we come on to our guest. We met a load of fantastic people, didn't we, Adrian? A lot of people saying some nice things about the show. And I felt a bit awkward at first because I'm not used to things like that. But I can't thank you all enough, because I think it made it worth our while, didn't it, Adrian?
Yeah, you're right. And I do apologise. People coming up to me going, "Hi, Adrian." I'm like, all right. I'm thinking, where do I know him from? Where do I know him from? Shower block, toilet. And like little things like Pomsey. Big shout out. Made us that. Really nice.
See,
that's why I got that. And we got other secret things that I'll talk about later. But yeah, it was lovely. And thank you so much for Kerry for helping out on the stall. She was an absolute godsend. Yeah, and it was.
Thank you to everyone for coming. As I say, I can't remember everyone, but I can remember Emma Watts came and said hello. Nicola Roberts came and said hello. Steve Pettigan. Thank you to all the people who brought cake. I liked all the cake. Chris, to discriminate everyone. Anyway, without further ado, I can see Mark sat in the background itching his neck and huffing and puffing. So, no, Mark, no one can hear you or see you yet, but I can. So let's bring him on. Oh, what's he doing there?
Nothing.
Everyone saw that.
He's got trousers on. Hi, Mark. All right.
I was literally just killing 3 moths, a couple of daddy long leg flying animal horrible things. So yeah.
That sounds like me at war both weekends while we've been away, because insects have been loving it, haven't they?
Oh, it's ridiculous at the minute, especially in this area.
Yeah. I think Daddy Longlegs are out like on a vengeance at the moment. We had 11 in our lounge the other night, so they're crazy.
How do I see the chat?
In your right hand side of your screen, you've got live chat, or what's the other one, Adrian?
Private chat, but
Private
that's
chat.
Yeah.
So, or comments. If you click on that on the right side of your screen, you should be able to see it.
I can't see it. Hang on. Let me see.
He's going all over. There he is.
That's the problem.
Look, he's doing that to show off his Cool man cave, isn't he?
Yeah,
Oh,
look.
no. Another moth. Fucking.
That's probably a
I
really
hate these.
rare one.
Just 2 seconds. I hate
Green.
these.
Green scatterjack moth. Only 4 in the country, and he's killed it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. Die. Because I hate them. I don't like anything. Oh, it's on my levers. Cheeky twat. Dead. Here we go, watch. There we
Marky
go.
Mark
There's the
Mothman.
casualty.
Oh, dear.
And no animals
Beautiful.
were heard in the making of this particular show.
That's
No.
the 4th one tonight, if anybody likes moths. Yeah, so anyway, sorry.
Right, Mark, obviously you've been on the show before, but you've took a little bit of a break doing other things, and you've started coming back with your detecting videos of late. We saw you obviously at the weekend at Detectable. We had a nice chat with you there. Introduce yourself for the audience who don't know you.
I'm Mark Lawson.
Thanks very much, mate. That's great.
Tosser. I'm Mark Lawson, aka Marky Mark on Digging on YouTube. Yeah, I've had a bit of a rest from it all. Still been doing a little bit here and there, but needed a bit of time where I was just doing it on my own rather than looking at cameras or talking to people all the time. And yeah, I just needed a bit of rest. But yeah, I'm back now and buzzing to get going again.
And you're a detect. Oh, never say it, Dave. Can we?
No, do not.
Expert.
No, don't say that word.
Say it. Read it on the front of the magazine.
You're
mate.
the world's leading expert on Minelab metal detectors, Dave.
I am far from that, mate. Trust me. Hey, I like I tell everybody, I'm just winging it.
This is being streamed live by Minelab on their YouTube channel. No.
I've just got to say, I'm reading the comments on one by Richard Foxwell. I can't read it out for political reasons, but you tell him, Richard, you're totally right. Anyway, carry on. Moving on.
I can't, for some reason, I can't see the comments. So if anybody likes Sid Perry's on that's gave me abuse, you'll have to let me know.
Sid Perry's actually said, what's he said there? Go up a little bit. Sup, Siliqua boy.
Yeah. Hang on, wait. So I went out today. We had this, I'll give you the little rundown. So basically, I were at Detectable at the weekend. I was on the test bed all weekend helping people struggling with connecting their headphones, this, that, and the other. And I don't mind it and whatever. But yeah, so I'm on the test bed all weekend. I've basically used the 15-inch coil, the GPX, whatever I've got. And the one that we really struggle with, not with the GPX found it, but the one we really struggle with was the gold tooth at about 19, 20 centimeters, I think it was. And we couldn't get a signal on it. Like I said, I went on there with the 15-inch. The 15-inch got it. And cut a long story short, Sid comes along on Sunday. I said to him, we can't find the gold tooth. Let's get on the test bed. Let's get the knocks on the go, whatever. So he gets on there and he's playing around with it, messes around with the ground balance on it, reduces the recovery speed, and boom, he gets this massive signal on the gold tooth. So we walk away from it and Sid goes, you need to go back to your Horde site where you've got your siliquas and try these settings. So I went to I've got a new permission with 4,000 acres that I've just been given. I don't kind of know where it all is, but I went down to one at fields where I had a couple of Romans out before, where he'd give me a permission for one field. And yesterday had a shit time, found nothing, and I literally went home, tail between my legs, fed up, and I was like, why have I started doing this hobby again? It's frying my head. And then today I got up and I felt a lot more happier in myself, and I just went, sod it. I'll go down to the old permission, get on the Siliqua site where I've had the Horde, and I'll get these settings and go and see how they go. Believe it or not, I honestly thought, I'm not going to find any more Siliqua. We've had them all. And literally, within 5, I walked onto the site. It was really weird because the landlady, she's an old Irish lady, and I never see her. But when I turned up today, she was actually there in the field. And I was like, you all right, Marie? And she's like, yeah. I said, I ain't been for ages, but I'm going to come and have a go on the Siliqua bit.
Mark, can I just stop you there? She's an old Irish woman. Can you actually do it in the accent for me, please?
Oh, all right. And here we go. Hang on. So I said to her, Hang on. I had a drink in my hand at the time as well. Sorry, mate. Marie, is there any chance I'm all right to go on here? Am I? I haven't seen you for a while. Sure to be sure, dear. So off she goes. She toddles away, and as she's literally walking down the track, I get my first signal. Well, I'm probably lying here. It's probably my third signal because I was digging hobnails and I basically running the machine in flat out. And I'd done exactly what Sid had said. I was like, let's just give it a go. And straight away, I honestly, I dug it and I was like, this is going to be rubbish. And it was just there facing at me. And this was number 1. If we can angle, where's the camera? There. I'm trying to get this right. Where's the camera? There.
Put in front of your face.
That's number 1 anyway. But it's nice. Absolutely stunning, guys. And so I rang straight away. I FaceTime Sid. He's in the middle of some field, metal detecting, finding shotgun shells and whatever. And I was like, Sid, I've got another silica. And he's like, you jammy get you. You're all right, Tom, yo. So I went running over to the fence. I said, Marie, look, I found another silica. And she was like, oh, that's amazing. She held it in her hand, gave it me back, and off I went again. And then literally 10 minutes later, boom, straight away again. And that was number 2.
Lovely.
So, yeah, I know there's more there. I know the real weird thing is, it's strange because they're really hard to dig. Like what I've dug there signal wise today, I'm not just saying, and even Sid would agree with me. 99.9% of people won't even dig them. The only reason I dug them was because I saw a 17, which they generally flash between 17 and 18. It was a 17 one way, but every 3 or 4 swings over it, I'd get a 17. I was like, dig it. And it was it. And even the pin, when I dug the hole out, because obviously it's pasture, so I dig a clod and flip it over. Even when I dug that out, I'm literally swinging back over it, and there's no signal. It's really strange why these silicas don't come up on the Noxus or any machine. I think because we've had a lot of machines on there, and they're all the same. They're really, really tricky to dig. But yeah, dug 2 more. So
Mark.
Yeah.
There's a moth behind you.
He's on his shoulder. The other shoulder. What sort of ground? It's funny you say ground balance because a lot of people just don't, do you? What were you sort of pumping it and then notching it back a bit from the reading?
Well, that was the original thing that we did at the weekend. Like I was always we had this weird situation a couple of years ago when I went to the last Detectiveville. Obviously, Derek and a couple of others were on the test bed at the time, and we'd spoke about ground balance and stuff because I've had a Knox from day one when they first came to UK, and we were talking about ground balancing, and they said leave it at 0 because UK soil isn't as bad as other countries and whatever. So left it at that, and I literally walked away from the test bed that day with Dan. Dan was on a dais, I was on a Knox. And he basically swung over this target, and he shouted me over, and I went over and swung over it, and it was a bit of a weird situation. It was like it won't get it. So then what we did was I shouted Derek over. I said, "Oh look, there's a signal here. We haven't dug it yet, but I'm not getting it. He is." And we adjusted the ground balance, and the ground balance was like 44, 45. And apparently, what they say is once it's above 25. You have to once it's 25 or above, you do adjust the ground balance and play to ear with it. So on Sunday when we were on the test bed and we were trying to get this gold tooth, Sid obviously raised the coil up and down until he got the. You see, I've only just realised today, which makes me sound terrible, is I've always pumped the coil and it's gone up, and I've always listened for the threshold to change, so it goes from like a duller, and then it starts whining. So I always go to the whiny bit, drop it back a bit, find the point again, and then drop it 3 or 4, whatever. That's how I've always done it. I didn't realise you could press the accept and reject and hold it, and it takes you to that point where it's changing, and then you can bring it back yourself. It's all, you know. Hey, listen, that's why I said when you guys said Detexpert, I'm no Detexpert. I most of the weekend I was helping people with things like changing Bluetooth, getting the headphones working on the machines, and why and people were pressing random buttons when they went out, and just I don't think to say you're a Detexpert means that you know everything about a machine. Like Sid, to be honest with you, I'm not blowing smoke up his backside, but Sid is the dog's danglies when it comes to a metal detector.
Well, talking to Sid, Mark, and he is watching, and you are a friend of his. He keeps blagging out of actually coming on the show. We keep asking, and he won't do it. So come on, everybody, have a go at Sid. I
just said to Sid today, I FaceTimed him. I said, come on, get on the show with me, mate. Come and we'll have a laugh. And he's like, I'm fine. I can do it in front of my own camera and I can chat to people. But when I get on the thing, I'll freeze and I won't be able to have a laugh. And I'm like, if anything, if the time to get him on is now whilst I'm on it, because I can abuse him, we can have a bit of banter.
I'll tell you what I'll do then. I'm going to send.
Come on.
I'm going to send young Sydney the link. Now, Sid,
come on, Sid.
Just click on the link. Where is he?
He's going to leave the chat now.
I've sent you the link. Click on it and come and have a chat with us.
That'd be nice. Or worst case scenario, Dave, we do a pre-recorded show with Sid.
Yeah, we could easily do a pre-recorded show, Sid.
Yeah.
The might not be live.
You might come in. You might come in. Cool chair.
We'll have a right laugh, Sid. Come on.
We're in the pub, the virtual pub.
I tell you what, I promise you, if you come on now, Sid, you can come back on the Siliqua site with me.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a virtual pub. I'm the designated driver, and Adrian's a designated drinker.
I've got shandy.
Without the lemonade.
I've got orange juice.
Looks like urine.
I've got a lovely man. I've got a lovely man-like mug. In fact, I have many.
Red ones were for cider as well.
Oh, were they?
Hey, I thought that was a good. I'm not just saying this, but I actually thought that was a really nice thing Mind Lab doing. All the free drinks on the Saturday night.
Yeah, I think people forget that free alcohol on Saturday night, and there were people. That I was just about to say there wasn't any fights, but there was one slight altercation at the bar.
Yeah, but that was good because I set it up so I could get to the front of the queue.
What do they pay per ticket?
Well, I've no idea, to be honest. £12.70.
No, per ticket for the weekend.
The weekend tickets.
130, I think. So
I guarantee you, I know on the Saturday night they were handing them wristbands out.
Willy-nilly. I must have had 10 of them restaurants. That's 30 pints.
If you were a big enough drinker, you could have got your money's worth easily.
I did.
Dave did. I think Dave did for the next year. But yeah, that was good because other events, they've been like rocking horse poo, haven't they? Been rare.
Oh.
Yeah!
Whoa!
Come on, oh, no, hey, hang on. Wait. Round one.
Can I just say, Sid, you've offended me with your shorts there.
Hey, do I have to take my top off as well?
No. It's going wrong, Dave.
Right, turn it off. We were going all season 2. We were going all professional, and it's just show one's just gone to Pete Tong.
We can have a virtual boxing match.
You're right, yeah.
Virtual boxing match.
Shall I take my top off?
Let's go get Nike. The big Nike detector.
We asked Karen for Nike detecting. Nothing. She didn't accommodate us at all. Hello, Sid. How are you?
I've just got back from detecting. I've had my tea, a curry, was sat in my pants and having a fag. You me on the show.
And this is the person who won't come on normally.
Hey, he's only come on so he can gloat on my Siliquas.
He's allowed on your site now.
He's only come on because you said he can go on your Silicas.
Yeah, I'm coming tomorrow.
He always knows. As long as we sort stuff out, I always get to sit down. I have no bother at all with Sid.
Can I just point out that this is actually like detectable all over again, apart from
what makes you say that?
I tell you what. I've got coming in a couple of weeks, guys. After the 25th, Sid, I've got the GPX 6000 coming.
You won't know how to use it.
And it'll be bigger than you.
Hey,
Sid, come down.
Sid, you will. That's why I've asked you to come down.
I've never used one to be. Well, I've had a little go on the GPX 6000, but dig a lot of iron. But on a site like yours, with all them silicas, it's worth it, isn't it?
Do you know what? I think the biggest. I don't know why I'm even talking about this online, but I think the biggest key of all is I've got a couple of days booked next month, and I'll tell you when it is. And come down and we'll. I think the best thing of all is we just get rid of the whole area of iron. Just dig everything. Dig everything. Because they're not bothered anyway. Otherwise, we're going to get a mini digger in there.
You want to speak to Adam Staples and that, and ask him about a few settings and that idea. So I've never really used one. He's mustard on it, isn't he?
So just dig it all, mate. Just dig it all.
Dig it all. We'll suss it out. Can't be that hard, can it?
Hey, you got the gold tooth when he couldn't.
Well, there you go. Look, there you go.
There you go. There's the man. Look at your body. You're so muscular.
It's a temple, isn't it?
That's why I'm actually can't see the moves.
This guy's right. Seriously, this is why the site is so hard. So the two silica I dug.
Whoa! We're looking at Sid's body, and you're saying about things being hard.
Things are so hard.
and I had this bit of Roman here, but the rest of this here, this is what is in that area. Look.
Wow.
I've been on there twice, Mark.
Does anybody online know what these are? Because I find them 10 a penny on my Roman site, and it's like a iron clasp or something, and it's on each end. Look.
That's an iron clasp, mate.
Does it look like a buckle with two spikes, Mark?
That's a gear section off a 1984 Grifter, I think.
Do you see this? I'm going to open an auction tonight. This bit here is an oyster, like an oyster shell. Is it? Yeah, oyster shell that Julius Caesar himself ate out of. I'm going to start the bidding at 20 grand.
20 grand.
You'll buy it, Dave. I like the way Sid is worried about coming on and he's in his pants, bare-chested. Some guests worry about how their hair looks, Dave, don't they?
Hey, does anybody think this is Roman?
No.
Can't see. It's all blurred, mate. I've seen one
Hold on.
Update your internet then.
There you are.
That's a little chef steak knife from 1978.
That's part of a pair of scissors.
It's only that big. It's only that big. It just looks massive when Mark holds it.
And what about this? What about this Roman hobnail?
That's too big.
Hey, hang on, Sid, watch. I'm just going to pop up to the bar to get me a drink. Hang on.
do you know why Mark actually enjoyed Detectable said?
Why?
Because he was bigger than Scotty B.
Yeah.
All right.
Scotty B was a legend, weren't he?
Don't get short with me.
What was Scotty dressed up as?
I see where this is going.
Space pants.
Space pants, that's it.
Dave, have you got the video of that?
I haven't got the Space Pants video. I do have another video. Let me just put this other video on.
I'm pushing up.
And that was the end of that day.
Do you want to hear the story about me at Detectiveville the year when I went on the bull?
Go on.
First year at Detectiveville, I rock up. I just met. I'd met. First time I'd ever met Dan Spencer as a mate and whatever. And I'm there for a weekend, so I'll go and get on this rodeo bull.
Let's just stop there a minute, Mark, because some people don't know about your former career.
My former career is a professional bike racer.
And?
Oh, a jockey.
So you should be the world's greatest at it. Let's continue.
No, because you said that, but riding a horse and riding a bull is completely different. Trust me.
Why? Because a bull's got balls and a Horse hasn't.
Because the bull's twice the size of a horse, and it's completely different way of sitting on something.
Depends what size you are.
Yeah, hey, and I'm 4'2", mate. So yeah, anyway, so I rock up the first year at Detectiveville, and there's this rodeo bull, and they're giving away metal detectors for first, second, and third prize. And I rock up and I win all three. and I got a bit of a telling off. So I basically ended up taking 2 machines home. Not 3, but yeah. And then the next year I went. What happened? Oh yeah, the guys who live next door. I'm trying to think of the names now. Annie and Mark Rimmel. He's an ex jump jockey himself. They lived next door to where the Detectiveville was, and they'd been invited in for the evening and whatever. And the kids got on there like little 7-8-year-olds, and they absolutely cleaned up. We got an Equinox, a race, and a lot.
Well, on the back of that video you've just seen, I actually won this week's proceedings.
Yeah.
Well, you won the naked rodeo, Dave.
That was later, mate. It was dark.
You did really well, though, didn't you, Dave? You was doing really well on the rodeo. You was doing really well.
No, I was shit. Let's be honest.
Bit of a question. That there. Look at the size of that, and don't go because you're so small. It looks big.
Because you're so small, it looks big.
That is a big, huge. I mean, I'd say that's a good from side to side. That's 1.5 inches across.
That's a millimetre.
What kind of Roman nail is that?
A big one.
Big one, yeah. It's off a building, and it's
I thought this was a professional TV show.
Wait, what made you think that?
It all went pear-shaped when I come on naked.
You wouldn't want to warn me, would you?
Oh dear.
So anyway, Sid, can we now you've been on, you've broke your duck, you've broke your virginity, are you going to come on properly in the future with clothes? Or without, whatever.
Not with clothes. I don't want to. No. You know, when you normally look at people, you're meant to think of other people naked. It's meant to be easier. For me, I'll get myself naked. It makes it easier for me. Like,
hey, Sid, guess who's rocking up in the building?
What?
Oh, it's Scones.
Isla, who is it? Who's on there, Sid?
Oh, Shitty.
You know you're getting called Siddy for life now, don't you?
Okay. Calm yourself.
That's what Auntie Jeff gave me.
Oh, it's amazing.
Auntie Jeff? Is she confused?
Auntie Jeff.
He's transgender.
All right.
We've got to be PC, Dave.
Well, then,
best go then, everybody.
Wave.
Bye.
Bye. Say hi to Auntie Jeff for me.
Uncle Jeff. Yeah.
Oh
Tell us a bit about your bike, Mark. I know it's a detecting show, but your bike was at Detectiveville, wasn't it?
So here's the bike. This is my race bike. And this is sponsored by Crawford's. I got into it this year and fair play to him. I said to Craig, would you like to sponsor me? And he went, yeah, I'll have a go at it. And to be honest with you, it's actually worked really well because it's really weird because even before I was bike racing, when I went and did track days and stuff, people would come up and they go, you're Marky Mark off of YouTube. And I'm like, mate, I'm on a track day. Let's just keep it quiet. And
you're signing autographs and that?
Oh, mate, it was mental. I felt like Brad Pitt. So, yeah, it was. So I approached him and I said, do you fancy sponsoring me for some bike racing, Craig? Obviously, I'll push you on race weekends and whatever. And he's like, yeah, no bother at all. We'll throw you some sponsorship money. And fair play to him, stayed true to his words. For instance, one of the best stories this year is, and it's a sad, well, it's not sad, but it's a good story. There's a bloke who metal detects, and he said, I watch your videos, mate. It's a different request. Are you going bike racing this year where you can invite my father-in-law along? He's an ex-bike racer. He's in his 90s, I think it was, and he's got Alzheimer's, but he's just been told that he's got terminal cancer. And I was like, yeah, no worries at all. So I got in touch with Bemsy, and they were like, first off, they were like, yeah, we'll give you the tickets. But and then all of a sudden they came back with a reply of, it's COVID, it's not safe, we're not going to give you the tickets. But then randomly the tickets appeared in my email address, and I just thought, sod it, I'm giving them the guy anyway. Because if it was me and my last minute request, because I said to him, what happens if he gets COVID while he's there though? And he was like, he's on his way anyway. Listen, whatever you do for him to come and see the bike, it'll be a massive help. So anyway, cut a long story short, I was at Brands Hatch and I said to him, come and watch the Brands Hatch race weekend on the Saturday. So they booked a hotel. They came down, they stayed. He came and sat in the pit. He talked about the bikes, looked round my bikes, spoke about it. They went off and watched a bit of bike racing. And yeah, they went off and watched a bit of bike racing. And then I got a message the other day saying that he sadly passed away, but they were very grateful for the time I'd given him. Hey, Sid, I'm not bored. I'm drinking. I'm going to drink myself.
Sorry, my internet broke then. Could you repeat that again? But no, where have you come with your bike racing so far?
Why'd you have to start talking about coming?
When Sid's on the show. Sorry, when Siddy's on the show.
I'm going to have to get off, lads.
All right, Sid.
Thanks for letting me come on.
I'll flag you in to come in soon, man. Thanks for popping on. Take care.
Down. I'm bored. Nah, wish you, Mark. See you soon, mate.
Take care.
Yeah, so
that was nice.
I've had 3 4th places, but it's all been a little bit rushed, really. I've been running used tyres off other races when they finish racing with them and everything. So next year's the year when I get a good kick in the belly. But yeah,
that's not bad. 4 out of how many in a race?
It's 30, 39 in 39, 40 races in a race, I think. That's
pretty good going, isn't it, Dave?
I ask him what happened when he asked me to get on his bike, Adrian.
He went to get it. He went to cock his leg over the bike, and I dread to think what he's like getting on the missus of an evening. Because he couldn't get his leg on. He nearly kicked the fucking rear. He basically, he went to get on and just kicked all that. So that's why the rear end is loose. Look. He ripped the bolts out the joint.
Did you not see me trying to get on the bull?
So I've got to re-fiberglass. I've got to re-fiberglass all the holes just to fit it back.
Sorry, Mark.
It's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. I'll let you off.
So
yeah, it's something I always wanted to do. So horse racing was a career. The bike racing's my hobby. So same as metal detecting.
So basically, you like riding things.
You're fucking too right. when the missus lets me.
All going wrong. I suppose when you're racing, you can't. Do you detect in the week or at weekends, or when you just get a bit of time in the evening?
To be honest with you, like we said when we came on earlier, I've had a bit of time out this last year. I was a bit. I love helping people, and even at Detectable, I enjoyed it, and I think that's part of it that got me back into it again. But I got to a point where I was like 24/7 just online, and my missus used to say to me all the time, "You're always on your phone, like even at like 12 o'clock at night, we're talking metal detecting, or whatever. It'd always be something to do with machines, and I never want to just ignore people, so I'll always literally reply to everyone. So in the end, I got a bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say put off, but I was just like, I need a rest from it. And during summer, to be honest with you, a lot of my land's pasture anyway, because it's paddocks and stuff like that. That's majority of what my permissions are. So I don't really like digging pasture up too much during summer anyway. But yeah, I lost track a little bit. But then when I went to Detectiveville and started just. I really, do you know the thing I love the most is, and I haven't had it recently, is when we go out metal detecting, like having a couple of mates with me, and at the minute I've been going out on my own, and you do get a bit. When you with your mates, I'm competitive, so say if Dan Spencer rocks up or Sid rocks up or anybody rocks up that's metal detecting with me, I want to beat them. I want to have the best find, so I'll dig all day. When I'm on my own, I go I'm a couple of hours person. Get my head down for a couple of hours. Don't stop. Don't think about else. And then literally after 2 hours, my head will just go, right, that's it now. And that's it.
More importantly, a question we ask a lot of people who come on the show: what do you take to eat with you when you go detecting?
Nothing.
Really?
I literally have a bottle of, today I took a bottle of dilute juice with me. That was it.
And this is your website, isn't it? Marky Mark on digging.
The channel, yeah.
And there's a new video up on ground balancing that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's what I did earlier. To be fair, it was a bit thrown together because I wanted to get people into watching the footage, us live tonight as well. So I threw it up there and made sure that it was on today, which was a bit rushed really. But people keep messaging me saying, "Can you put some more videos up and stuff?" And I'm like, at the minute, I'm just trying to get my head back into it and enjoying it again. And so today I threw a couple of clips together with finding the silica and how to ground balance and whether I think it's right to do. And I put a bit about the composite pens on the end of it as well because.
Oh,
what?
They're talking of composite pencils, which people can see. Their Christmas range is going to include one of these. Do you remember those at school?
Oh yeah, pencils, colouring pencils in, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to provide that.
Do you know what? Honestly, right? I'm one of these people that rocks up at, especially detecting wise. I'll get given these things and I go, I'll never use it. I'll just take it home. It'll be there and whatever. And then the other day I got home with this composite pen. I was like, there's a couple of Roman coins that have really annoyed me over the last few years where I find them in my Roman woodland and it's like really crusty and the peat moss is like stuck to them and you got to remember they've been there 2,000 years or whatever and they're really cruddy and horrible. And there was a couple of Roman coins. In fact, I've got a bagger of them here on the side. And it's not like, this isn't staged. This is actually me coming in here yesterday going, I went out detecting for an hour. It was so hot. I was like, right, I'm just going to go home, mess about with these coins for an hour and see if this pen works. And do you know what? I'm not exaggerating. Anybody who buys this and comes back to me and says it was rubbish, I would actually happily give them the £6 back because I know full well, deep down, these things, they're brilliant. Look, this pen, in fact, I sent you the original coin, didn't I, Dave?
Yeah, you did. I'll try and find it.
This one here, this is, in fact, it's half cleaned on the back, so you should all be able to see it. Hang on. So let me just make sure it's got it. So that's the front, and that originally was absolutely, you couldn't even see any, you could just see the writing on the left-hand side. And then the back bit here, it looks like it's just mud, but this is just like, this is peat moss on the I don't know which side what you guys you're looking at, but the side that looks dirty is the side that hasn't been done, and the other side is done or kind of done.
Mm.
But it's
yes,
but they honestly
that was you before, wasn't it?
That's it, and that ain't just mud. That there, I tried. I spent hours on with a toothpick and in deionized water, leaving it to soak for weeks on end, and then trying to get it off with toothpick. Got no chance. And yet these composite pens, honestly, I'm not. I don't like. I won't shout about something that's not good because I'm one of them people. I'm not. I've never been dishonest. I'm too honest, if anything. And I used this the other day, and I even messaged Graham and said to him, "What you've got is mega. It's brilliant." And I actually think he's selling himself cheap because I actually think they're worth more than what you pay for them.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm not just saying that either.
I actually bought it just over a year ago. Didn't know Graham, hadn't met him before. I saw an advert and I bought the whole pack for like 15 quid. And I started using it and I thought, oh, I've used the fiberglass ones before, but you get all like bits in your fingers, like you've been at the loft.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. I thought, oh, and it's therapeutic. And I said to Dave, we should help this guy because he's only a small business and he's not expensive. And like you, we don't get any bunts, do we, Dave, from the back of it? Well, we don't for anything, unfortunately. No.
I don't even know what bun. I don't actually know what bunts means.
Backhander.
I'm not a cockney.
Oh, I'm not a cockney. But this is printed out of wood, 3D wood printing or something bizarre. But he's launching this in the Christmas thing because the only thing his Christmas range, because the only thing I found is once you get the pen and the attachments and the powder that looks a bit dodgy and the Gladius solution, you end up with loads of stuff everywhere. And having it in a 1980s, he's probably got this from Africa. No, he's printed it, but it's the sort of thing that kids in third world countries still use. But yeah, I love his stuff. And he's the Gladius solution, Mark.
To prove how good they are, all these coins in this bag here are all ones that I can clean up and tidy up. They've all got bits of crud on them and stuff that need tidying away. But I'll clean all them up and I'll send them on to you guys. And then at Christmas, you can do a Christmas giveaway of some Roman coins.
That's fantastic. But in the meantime, why don't you actually do a video of you cleaning them up?
That's if you go and watch my YouTube video, I actually said at the end of the video today, I said I'm more than happy to do like a fast talking about it, how I do each bit, but then fast forwarding it as I clean, like with the camera on it, watching it.
Clean. And then we'll give them away.
And then you'll give them away, yeah. But honestly, I like I said, I'm one of them guys that goes out. I love the hunting side of things, the detecting side of things for me. It's like going fishing. A moth just hit me inside the neck. You dirty bastard. Hang on.
You're going to have to call him Marky Moth, Dave.
Marky Moth. Already. Dead already. So, yeah, I don't like... Yeah, I'm not one to go and clean stuff, but I think what you just said then, Adrian, I actually found it yesterday when I sat in here. I was in a bit of a bad mood, stuff going on with work and whatever, and I was just like, and I was doing it, and it is actually quite therapeutic. You come away, especially with that. Honestly, if anybody has seen that yesterday, like as I started it, the time I spent on it, I was chuffed. But when I got to the end of it, I actually saw her face. It was like, that's mega. That's what's good about them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it is.
Well, shortly we're going over to the Just Detect draw. This is for people who are members of or who have downloaded the Just Detect app. There's a free weekly prize draw, which we are lucky enough to draw by the show. This was set up a few weeks ago, thankfully, because I've forgot to do lots of things this week. But hey, I'm going to go on Dave full screen a minute. While we were away, my ring doorbell went. It went, hey, Fatty, it's a ring doorbell. And I'm going to have to speak to Mr. Phil Wills at some point as well. But my ring doorbell went. So I was like, what's this? And I kept on getting FedEx messages, didn't I, Adrian?
Yes.
And lo and behold, this arrived. So there you go. They do exist.
You know about that, Mark?
The
air detector. You read about it?
I've looked into it. I've heard. I don't know. I don't really know much about it. What's the crack with it? Is it any good?
Well, Philip Wills is in the chat. He's got one. Dan Spencer's got one, but it only runs at 7 hertz, I think, and it runs off your phone. It's all wireless, but I don't know. I might have a play with yours, Dave, after someone else.
I'm the air detector.
Aye, cocoa pie.
Dave, if you let me hold your air detector shaft for a few hours one weekend.
Wow,
certainly. Well, the first person who's going to be testing that is the Staffordshire searcher, Shane Holdcroft. I've asked him to, I've asked Shane would he start to do some regular reviews of certain things for the magazine, for the Archaeology Metal Detecting magazine, and obviously short videos for the show and content for his channel. So Shane's going to be having a go at that as soon as he wants to, or as soon as I see him anyway. But Philip Wills, let me know what you think of that anyway. Obviously, you've definitely got one. So I'll be, me or Shane will be tapping you up for information, no doubt. Sorry.
Did you see them scooters that Mark Becker and Fabrizio have got going on?
Yeah, for some reason, though, Mark keeps sort of like not letting me play on it.
Honestly,
Can't see why.
He came up to me on the day, the Fabrizio fella, and he's like, really nice guy. And he's like, whose a race bike? It was like mine. He's like, are you looking for a bit of sponsorship and whatever? I was like, well, whatever's going. He went, we've got these scooters. And I was thinking, here we go, 15 mile per hour, whatever. And he said, oh, they do 70 mile per hour. I was like, yeah, whatever. Because I at race meetings, everybody uses them. And I've had to go on loads of them, and they're all pretty steady. Anyway, all of a sudden, him and his mate rocked up with him. My God, these things are absolute lightning. They are so quick. Me and Sid had to go on the runway, and I guarantee you, I thought I was actually going to take off at one point. They are mega. They're absolutely... And I can understand why he won't let you have a go.
Why is that, mate?
You probably break your neck.
Or take out some children.
Or break several e-rides or Pete's golf ball tent, or I don't know, the runway.
That quick. They're that quick. They actually wheel spin and wheel it.
Yeah, I think electricrides.co.uk, isn't it? The website.
I think so. Yeah,
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
But there's not just on there. He's not just the scooters. He also does like the mountain bikes as well, the road bikes, and they look pretty sexy. I bet you they go quick then. If the bloody scooters go quick.
If I had the money, I'd love one on my permission. Because some of we have to walk like miles. It'd be so nice, wouldn't it? To just maybe one day.
Yeah, just like the.
I'd just like one for getting into trouble.
Honestly, Dave, they won't catch you if you actually. Because I live by the Ridgeway, and all my permissions are nearby. I could actually get to every single permission on one of them, and I guarantee if the police rocked up in one of the Jeeps, which I've seen them because I do a lot of. Byways and all that lot with enduro bikes as well. If they rocked up and I was on one of them, I guarantee you now they won't have a chance in hell of catching me.
Where do you live, Mark? What area of the country?
Lambourne. So it's all Ridgeway.
What county is that?
B4000 Ermine Street. You must know Ermine Road.
What county is that?
Londonderry.
Newbury, Berkshire.
Berkshire. Oh, you're posh then. You're one of them.
I'm not posh. No, I'm actually from Yorkshire originally. My mum and dad live on a council estate, mate.
I know, pal. I know. Right, listen, we're going to go over now. And bear with me because I'm really not good at this production malarkey.
This is for a Garrett pinpointer, I think.
Yes, it is. Right. Am I sharing yet?
Nope, not yet.
No, I haven't added it to the stream. That's why.
There you go.
Right. Can you see what's going on now? Right. Can you see what's going on?
Yeah.
Right. So, in this week's Just Detect draw, now don't forget, download the Just Detect app. And at the top right-hand corner, when you remember, there's a little prize box. Click on the prize every week. Free entry into the weekly free prize draw from Just Detect. So this week, first prize is a Garrett Pro Pointer AT. Second prize is a Bennett Roman Artifacts book. And third prize is a, as aforementioned, composite cleaning pencil kit. So I've entered this week and I need a new pinpointer.
So do I.
If Luke's watching. Bring one to Detectable. Of course I will, Dave. Did he? No. Anyway, here we go. So, first prize. Rolling. I saw John Rigby then.
Yeah, Scotty B.
Oh, Shane Oldcroft. Dominic Jomshick. Easy for me. So, up.
Dave Sadler.
Yeah. Love it. Dan Clifton. Congratulations, Dan Clifton.
Well done, Dan.
You've won the Garrett Pro Pointer AT. Second prize. Shane Bancroft.
I think I entered.
Mark Hammond. Lee Biggs. Higgy.
Oh, me.
Emmy Dan. Emmy Dan wins the Bennett Roman Artifacts book. And finally, it's got to be me, you know, isn't it?
I've got the Bennett's book. That's good, that is. Actually, it's on my laptop's on it. Dave, can you, if I won this and I didn't want it, can you do it again? Can you spin it again or not?
Well, we haven't anyway. Stephen Hayes.
Well done. Oh, yeah, you could. Yeah.
So, first prize, the Garrett Pro Pointer AT is Dan Clifton. The Bennett's Roman Artifacts book is Emmy Dan, and the composite cleaning pencil to Stephen Hayes. So, thank you to the Just Detect team and to Graham Dempsey of the composite cleaning pencil. I'm leaning now because I don't know what I'm supposed to. I couldn't find what I was doing. There it is.
Whilst Mark's gone, well, we could talk about him, but the raffle first.
I've actually got that lined up. Now, I'll let you explain, Adrian, because people just think it's a Just Giving, but let you explain, please, because I think it would be nice to raise a lot of money for this cause. So crack on.
Yeah, basically, Paul at McGrafter, who designed the McGrafter spade, like everyone, cancer's close to his heart through one way or another, and like all of us. So he said, I'd like to raffle off a spade. So we said, yeah, all right, we'll do it on the show and stuff. And then Graham Dempsey got involved, and he's given away a free cleaning kit. And then Karen and Mark kindly are putting in weekend tickets for Spring Detectival. So there's hundreds of pounds, worth of prizes there. And as you can see, not many people have donated. And all the money's going to Macmillan Cancer Research. And I'm not being funny. I can't enter it because I won't, because it's not fair. But
I have because I had to make a donation. But obviously, if we do win anything, we'll sort out in the future. So basically, for every £2.50 that you donate, you get a entry to a draw. So if you put £10 in, you've got 4 tickets, etc., etc. Now, hopefully, we're going to be drawing this on next week's show. So you've got another week to get into it. Now, they've only 9 people have put in up to now. 1 or 2 of you, please pop on there and just a couple of quid, just put a couple of quid on. You are Just Giving. It's not going anywhere else. It's going directly to Macmillan. But on top of that, you are getting access to a free prize draw for some absolutely fantastic. And going back to the McGrafter, I know we talk about it often, Adrian, but the McGrafter, tell them a story about me and the McGrafter. People won't believe that one, will they? 2 tables.
Oh, yeah. Rodney Cook. People were going, I've got it here, actually. People were going, this carbon fibre shaft is not very strong. So you put it between 2 tables and stood on it. So
I didn't just stood on it. I jumped on it.
You did. You stood balanced on it, and then you jumped up and down. All 13 stone of you, Dave, or whatever it is, and it didn't break. And I think off the back of that, he sold 3 or 4. But this is the winning one. And as you can see, he's got all his Union Jack, British made, and all that malarkey. But for the sake of £2.50, when you can win a spade like that, it's worth going for. And the cleaning pencil kit, which is worth, 15 quid. And the detectival tickets, you're talking over £100, aren't you?
And who makes the McGrafter spades? Superman.
Yorkshire.
A man in Yorkshire. Yeah, not
Mother
me.
Yorkshire.
Superman.
But, yes, I've had mine now for about, 8 months, 9 months.
Yeah, about the same, yeah.
Yeah, 8, 9
months. I've just been asked to put the link in the chat.
Well, if you can also go to McGrafter, MeGrapta, MEG. Oh bloody hell, McGrafter, PH.co.uk. On his website, on the homepage, he's got a banner, and you click on that.
You can make me grafter.
That's where it's a Yorkshire thing, because his dad used to call it me grafter, his spade. So, yeah.
That's a good idea, that's not a bad show.
But it's not cheap, but it's all made in the UK and it's not Chinese. And if anything goes wrong with it,
I know the fella. I was chatting to him there before.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Rob Random, he says, McGrafter helped me get round Detectable a lot better than dragging an Iron Age spade.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a question for you about these pens.
Then.
What's the 2B thing?
That's basically because the origin of the pencil was that of a normal engineering pencil. They've just been resourced to fit what's needed. So your 2B, your HB, and that have your different pencil types.
Ah, okay. No worries. I was looking at it earlier and I literally just took my eye. I thought I'd ask about that. I didn't know if you could change it.
If you turn it off, it actually says underneath or not 2B. That is actually the question.
To be or not to be. But yeah, I think the pens, you're right. They come from like wherever, and he's just stuck his shaft in there.
That time of night, is it, boys?
Yeah, it's gone 9. It's gone 9. But yeah, so why is there a lot of badger chat going on, Dave?
What's the badger face for?
Well, I got chased by one the other week, and it frightened the life out of me. And then since I've mentioned it, loads of people have put in the chat of how they went for a dump in a badger hole and it could have come out and ripped them up, and how Dave might get attacked one day. But yeah, that was scary. It was scary. It was dusk and it was getting dark, and it just ran towards me.
I tell you what, hey, you won't want to take one on there. They are horrible.
I know. I know.
The mask.
They
The mask.
really
I bought the mask.
Nice about them.
I bought the mask because I knew we were going on stage at Detectable, so I kept it hidden until. In fact, I forgot it and had to sprint. People had to see me running. Why is he running? The fat. Got the mask, ran back, got on stage, and Adrian was like, "What are you doing? Nothing, mate." One
of my mates is called Badger, and the reason he's called Badger is because you just can't kill him because he's just hard as nails. And that's the reason why you don't mess with a badger. If one of them comes running at you, you run as fast as you can.
I think, they're big and they've got claws like that, haven't they?
Adrian, I've just seen James is in the chat room. And James, I've got to say, you, sir, are a legend because you inadvertently called somebody out the other night, and former colleagues of the person that you called out were messaging me to say, haha, look at this. James knows what I'm on about.
Oh, he's my detecting buddy. We go out detecting together. So even though a lot of people think we're a couple.
Couple of old tarts.
Yeah, mincing around the field, Dave. Yeah. But no, we're going out this weekend. We're going out Saturday or Sunday. I've got to sort it out with him. So, But even though like Rodney Cook, then Detectable, then out this weekend, I'm still got that buzz, still got that vibe.
I did actually put the link to the McGrafter raffle in the chat. I don't know if anyone
can't see it.
Actually, I can't see it on my thing, but I put it on YouTube, and is it there on YouTube? And we go, well, yeah, it's there.
Oh, what? In YouTube?
Let me try this instead. Let me try something else. Because I ain't got a clue what I'm doing.
You're doing a good job, mate. You're doing a good job. Production.
I miss Luke.
Yeah, it would be nice to have Luke back.
Hey, wasn't it nice to meet Mrs. Higgins finally at the weekend?
Yes, Luke's wife. Yeah, who does all the behind-the-scenes stuff for the show. I think she's a very nice lady. Very, very nice lady.
She was, definitely.
And we got hats. Mark, weren't there loads of stuff being given away at Detectable?
Do you know what? I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to shoot anyone down. But there was some bloke actually selling hats, Mind Lab hats, and patches on Facebook yesterday. And I'd had a couple of beers, and part of me wanted to comment and go, "You're a bit of an idiot, mate." But then the other part of me went,
"You got one of them, Adrian?" Got one of them?
Yeah, but they were giving everything away. To be fair to them.
Adrian, that one.
The booze cruise was the biggest thing.
The ale
they were selling, like the lager. I've never even tried that lager before. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, it
That-
wasn't.
like-
It's far too hoppy. That's why I went on the cider.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm from the
Oh,
north. I
the
drink proper
cider
beer.
was nice as well, mind. The cider was nice, but for him to give all that away, that was cracking. Like,
Yeah, no, it was good.
Adrian, you're getting called out in the chat. Why aren't you
Oh.
going to the Rodney Cook one day of this Sunday?
John, I'm going out for a few hours on Saturday, on Saturday, but Sunday, the housing manager has got some thick tasks for me to do. And also, I helped. You'll notice this Rodney Cook one day event is all QR codes and stuff. I set up the website and all the ticketing system for Gary Cook. So I need to be in front of a laptop for when it all goes wrong and no one can be admitted. No, it won't. It'll work fine. But they're scanning a QR code now when you enter rather than the old-fashioned show you ticket. So I'm going to be on my laptop just in case anything goes untoward with the booking system. But I'll go to the next one.
Let me give a quick hello to John Damien. First time seeing your show. If I can show it. So just like the Facebook page, definitely hope to see more. I'm from the USA and Georgia. Is there an actual group page or a YouTube channel? If you look for the Big Detecting Show on Facebook, you'll find the Facebook group. All update information goes on there. And we run on currently, we're in the process of setting some things up for Big Detecting Show Direct. Look, silly about that. Where's my hat gone? Is that one on it?
Sorry, Dave, can I just butt in about Rodney Cook?
Certainly.
Everyone who the one-day event should have got an email this evening with the directions and the postcode and was it what 3 words, my 3 words or whatever. So if you haven't, just message Gary through Facebook or the email address that you've got. But from looking at it, everyone's got it and it's all okay. But it looks a really good day out. Really, really good day out.
Yes, I've seen that. That looks like good land, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you tell I've just actually learned how to put the comments at the bottom of the screen?
Yeah, well done, Dave.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to start doing rallies this winter. I think I don't know whether I should be saying that just now, but maybe I should have kept my mouth shut. Right, we'll just leave that.
That'll be that dirty beer you're drinking, mate.
To be fair, I've only had what have I had?
14.
4 lagers.
Well, you're very small, aren't you? So capacity-wise,
Trust me.
That's about 18 for me.
Dave, I will have a bet with you this time next year. I will get on the sesh with you, and trust me, I can put it away for a small bloke.
I'll tell you what. Let's go you versus Scotty B, and my money's on Scotty B because that man's got hollow legs, very small hollow legs.
I guarantee you, I'll be the first man up the next morning. You got to remember, I go out on the sesh. I go out on the sesh and drink for days on end, and then go to work at 6 in the morning.
Mark, you're the first man up. What?
First man what?
You said you'd be first man up. Up what?
First man up to wake up.
Oh, sorry. Right. I'm sorry. I was just confusing me.
No, Scotty B, he drank a lot, didn't he, Dave? But Dave, you drank about the equivalent of, I think I put more petrol in my car each week than what you less petrol. You drank. Oh well, you won't go through it, but you did drink a lot. And Scotty B was just constantly drinking all weekend. But yeah, it was good because.
To be fair though,
that's what it's all about, though.
It wasn't my fault. It was Kerry Fuller's fault that I was drinking. She actually did force me. You saw it.
Yeah, and she also put certain liquids in your drink. I don't know what. You know, when you started feeling tired. Something like that. Hippo. She wanted to take you swimming. She tried to get you in swimming trunks. I don't know what all that was about.
I also think it was her who actually ripped me socks as well.
Oh yeah, I saw that. But I'll tell you what was good, Mark.
I just see Scotty B said, "Mark, I'll get on the session." Do you know what? I'd love to get on the session with him because it'd be a right laugh.
You wouldn't be able to understand him though. So
Trust me. I might be a gobshite, but I can put the drink away. I'm as good as any man at drinking. That's my biggest issue.
Drinkable.
Don't you have to sort of drink to stay on a horse?
Exactly. Hey, that's why 3/4 of my life I was always drunk when I rode.
Hearing it all now, Dave, isn't it? It's all coming
Absolutely. Anyway, James, somebody saw that conversation that you were having, James, and was sending me screenshots, and somebody who actually worked on said program, and he was actually saying of things that, well, there you go.
Oh, you'll have to tell. Well, I can ask James about it. Karen Becker's just put, Adrian goes to bed early lightweight. No, I don't think so. We went into Swindon, me and Julian Evan Hart, and we were up clubbing till about 6. Went back to the hotel, had a breakfast, shower, came straight back out, Karen. So you know what Jules is like. He loves a bit of acid house and drum and bass. So yeah, we that's what we were doing.
I think there was some acid house and drum and bass played on Saturday night, and smoke machine and lasers.
Yeah,
allegedly, I've been told anyway.
There seems to be a lot of defending ourselves here for drink wise.
Yeah, well, I know. Like you said, Dave, about the drink. Someone put something in mine at Rodney Cook, didn't they? Because I had trouble getting home. It took me an hour and a half to get out of Rodney Cook.
So me, separate tents, by the way. Me, Graham Dempsey, his son Simon, and Luke all we're sat around on the campsite. We're all having a little drink, and we go and get in our separate beds and about to go to sleep. And my phone starts beeping, and I get a voicemail. Dave, it's Adrian. I'm in a ditch with James, and I can't get out, and I'm lost, and I can't find a taxi, and there's a man, and he's following us.
There was. James, if you're in the chat, the man.
Blame it on getting spiked, did it?
Well, the man, the big road to Rodney Cook, or big road, the country lane. We walked down there for about 2 or 3 miles for an hour or so, and a cab took ages, couldn't find us. And when it did turn up, this guy came out the bushes in like a tracksuit, and he's put his hands on the bonnet of the taxi, and he said to us, "You boys are lucky. You boys are lucky." And we were like, "What's he going on about?" And he looked mental. So I think he was going to do something to us, like a man with puppies in his car, trying to get us in the back. But yeah,
I think that's the drugs kicking in there.
Well, yeah, it was.
I'd say stay off the pills.
Yeah, something was weird that weekend, but no, it was good. But
Shane asks, "Where's the wake up video?" Been there, done that to start the show, mate.
Oh,
and the funny thing is, everybody thinks the metal detecting world is a dull world where everybody just walks around the field like zombies. Everybody's off the tits.
To be fair, I was walking around fields like a zombie on Sunday, and I don't even know how I ended up in the field.
No, you're right though, Mark. Because when I went to work on Monday, everyone said, "Oh, do you have a good weekend?" I went, "Oh," and I showed them videos like Scotty B in his space pants, and they're like, "What?" I said, "He said what? They're all like young people, and there's women there." You know, and I was like, "Yeah." And then the rave bit in the evening, they're like, "It looks really good." And even my son said he wants to come, which is saying something. So
people always said to me, they always go, "How does it mix? You're an ex-jockey, you go bike racing, and then you do metal detecting." And I'm like, trust me, the only way I can explain to people about metal detecting is, it's like fishing, but you know you're going to find something way better if you land on the right spot. So why would you want to go fishing every day, spend fortunes doing it, when you can actually go metal detecting? And to be honest with you, the hobby itself, not that it matters, it's probably one of the only hobbies in the world where it pays for itself if you really need it to.
Absolutely.
And it's an amazing, history-wise, that's the biggest thing. You look at it, you go, things you find, like them silica today, the last person that touched them was probably 2,000 years. In fact, it was 2,000 years ago, because otherwise it won't be in the ground. And yet my missus, I walked in the house, I said to her, she's not interested. She just goes, "Yeah, whatever." She likes to pretend that she's interested just as much as I do about her show jumpers and whatever. But I walked in the house, I went, "Hold out your hand." And she went, "What have you found?" And I dropped them into her hand, and she went, "They're amazing. How old are they?" I was like, "They're probably about 2,000 years old." She went, "Get away!" Like,
yeah.
And even her today she couldn't believe that they were of that age. So
you're right. And also with the hobby, I find people like banter. There's a lot of banter.
It's proper banter. Yeah.
I mean, when we were on the stage at Detectival, we were able to throw some gifts away, like Treasure Hunter magazine gave us some coin books.
And we also threw some abuse away at mainly Scotty B as well.
Yeah, so when we shouted, "Who wants this free prize?" Scotty B's jumping up and down, and over the microphone, I went, "Oh, ladies and gentlemen, look, that little boy's won his book," and stuff like. And then I think I started doing oompa like Willy Wonka over the mic, didn't I, Dave? And some people went like that, but everyone was laughing. And Scotty, he's such a good guy; he takes it, with a pinch of salt. But that's what I like.
To be honest, Katrina actually did message me pictures of him sobbing because you really did hurt him.
That wasn't him. But yeah, no.
Hey, one thing I know is I've only met Scotty B a couple of times, and I know full well he would not. He definitely won't go away sobbing. He's one of them. Hey, when you're as short as us, you have to take it on the chin, mate.
Oh, do you know?
Hey, and give it back twice as much, because otherwise they just keep on at you.
He does.
Do you know what the funniest thing was? When your son talking to me when you were at Stall, and I was sat down on a Sunday and able to see and move, and Scotty appeared next to you, and I was like, Marky's smaller than you.
That's why I went mental, because I was like, yes, I love
Best
it when
day
someone's
ever.
shorter than me. I love it when someone's shorter than me. It's mega.
If anyone's not seen it, on the Big Detecting Show Facebook page, and I think Detectival page on Facebook, there's loads of pictures, isn't there, Dave, from the weekend? Not just me and you eating cake.
I love cake. I love cake.
I bet you're taller than me in belly length.
To be honest, if I stood behind you, I could probably put my belly on top of your head. Lump on top of you like that.
I thought you'd lost weight, Dave. I thought you'd lost weight.
Dave, I'd rather be short and see my penis than... No.
I can see my penis. I've got mirrors on my shoes. Did you not see that?
You broke one, didn't you, on Sunday?
Oh, yeah, there we go. As easy as that.
I broke a what?
One of your mirrors on your shoes, because I had to help you in the toilet, didn't I? Do you know what? It's been a good show. We're not finished yet. But...
It's all coming out here tonight.
Well, yeah, Dave, he hurt his arm on the buffalo thing, so I had to help him in the toilet, didn't I? Do you remember when he went for number twos?
What buffalo thing?
That ball thing. So when Dave needed the number two, and I had to help him in the toilet. Oh, Dave, I've still got that wet flannel in my bag.
Do you know, when we spoke the other night about making it more professional, more streamlined, we were lying like shit, weren't we?
You can't.
It's done a good. I think if people are watching tonight, we don't say it often, but I think tonight's been a bit of a good show. Do us a favour, hit that like button on Facebook and YouTube.
Do you know what? I'd rather watch 10 shows like this than watch one show that's all professional and fall asleep.
I was actually joking. We had a meeting the other night to discuss some new things that we're going to be bringing onto the show.
Yeah.
Lots of nice new things, aren't we, Adrian? And how we're streamlining it and doing that. I know tonight was supposed to be part one of it, but Luke's house is dead.
I think, yeah, well, we're going to have more prizes and giveaways and also some little twists which viewers can interact, which no one else is doing. And I think that'll be really, really good. Really good.
And don't forget as well, we would like you, now you're all out and about to rallies, going to doing your own digs and what, please send us in your own videos as well. You don't have to be professional, maybe even 30 seconds long, a clip of something you found. We'd love to include it in the show. Breaks the show up a little bit, gives people something to look at. Even if you're a YouTuber and you want to do a short promo, a 30 to 40 second long promo for your next video, we'll be happy to play that as well. Won't we, Adrian?
Yeah, definitely.
What have I missed anything?
No, Philip Wills just said any update on Holy Grail, man. Sorry.
I don't really know what's going on here.
Dave, explain, please.
How? We had a guest who believes he's found the location of the Holy Grail in a crypt below a river in London. Is that all right?
Yeah, that keeps it. Yeah, but Philip Wills is, yeah.
I don't really know what's going on.
No, just watch the episode. Watch the episode. But hopefully he's found it.
Doodle's Gone Digging has found their first Papa Buller.
Oh, well done. Well done.
See, I actually believe in my last lifetime that I was a Roman soldier or something because I keep getting drawn back to these coins.
I think I must have been some form of baker because I keep getting drawn back to bake. Nick West and his wife won't let him send any of their videos.
Baker or pie maker? Or pie eater?
Yeah.
What are you trying to say, Mark? I'm quite offended.
Tony Kaywood's been inappropriate in the chat again, Dave. Tony Kaywood.
Where?
He's been inappropriate. He's mentioning websites people shouldn't visit.
Oh, buttons and buttons and bitches.
Buttons and bums. Yeah, he keeps going with all that. And yeah. So yeah. Oh,
well,
dear.
I think we're about to wrap up for tonight. Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you back on. Obviously,
I loved it.
Marvellous. And you even dragged bloody Sid Perry on, which is
I knew,
astonishing.
As soon as I mentioned coming on my Siliqua side, there's only one way that's going to end it, him rocking up, trust me.
He'll be there at your door in the morning.
Sid's a legend, like. But
I've got
a couple of days off next month, so we'll go and do we'll go and have a proper good day at it. So yeah.
What packed lunch are you taking?
I don't eat, mate.
All right. Here's another question: when you're actually cooking tea for Mrs. Lawson, which is the hob on the stove is your favourite hob ring?
The one that makes the Yorkshire puddings.
You make
anything in my life to do with cooking. To be fair, I cook all the time. I am the actual.
But what hob ring do you cook on?
Which hob?
On your hob on the top when you put your pans on.
What pan you're using, doesn't it? You don't.
Oh, he's one of them, Adrian.
He's right. He's right.
I'm a professional chef, Dave. It's what I went.
Have you ever tasted horse?
I actually tried. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's not very nice. Yeah,
Was it cooked?
Huh?
Was it cooked?
Yeah, I don't just walk into a horse's stable tomorrow morning and go, do you know what? I feel a bit peckish and just take a chunk out or all.
Why? Because it'd be like a little mosquito to a horse, wouldn't you? Right, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot your name now. Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on tonight.
Cheers.
Marky Moth.
Sid, thanks for coming on the show. We'll be back next week, hopefully with Luke, be able to, because I keep going like that because I'm trying to see what the hell I'm doing because there's a webcam in the way. So hopefully Luke will be back with us next week. And we'll have a few other different things, hopefully, from next week. So thank you to everybody for joining us. Where'd you get that?
I love badgers.
Yeah.
Is that your Badger Pride pen?
I don't. Yes. I only like gay badgers or trans or whatever. Yeah. Don't like normal ones. Yeah. Big Badger Pride pen.
Multicoloured badgers.
Yeah. Yeah. Rainbow.
And with that, we shall bid you adieu. Thanks, everyone, and we will see you next week.
Take care,
here's mine.
Hold on. Where's the banners? Bear with me. Oh, how'd you do this now? I've lost every. There it is.
Keep waving.
There it is.
Keep waving. Keep waving.